When you think of past, I want to use the word wisdom. Wisdom. Wisdom is evaluating, digging deep in your life experiences, pulling out the salient points, learning from your past, having the courage and the discipline and to dig in and go, what have I learned from where I've been? Life experience does not make you necessarily smarter. That's why the slogan is, there ain't no fool like an old fool. Okay? So you can have lots of years under your belt and not have grown in wisdom. Have you ever seen somebody and you hadn't seen them for 10 years and you saw them and you go, they have not evolved one bit, okay? None of the wisdom sank in, and it's just a certain kind of sad. Wisdom is, I have gone into my past, I have found the gems, I've been mining for gold, I'm finding truth, I'm failing forward. And so when you're making a decision, you're Ruth, okay, and you are Orpah, and you're at this crossroad, and you're trying to decide, do I go back to mom and dad's house, or do I go with Naomi? I know what makes sense, I know what conventional, what is right for me. You want to take some time to really unpack in prayer and in counsel, what have I learned from my life? What patterns have I uncovered in self-awareness? What have I learned about the world? What have I learned about self? And so you dig into wisdom. Present is your values. Values. What do you value? By the way, there are some values, core values you may have all your life, but there are certain things you value different in different seasons. There are some things different people value in different ways, okay? Now, I'm going to read into the text a little bit, but, let's just say, for example, let's say Orpah and Ruth. Maybe Orpah, for her, it was really, really, really important for her to have a child. She said, I really want to have a child. I really want to have a husband, I have a child. And maybe Ruth is one of these people that's like, I don't know. I mean, it would be fine if it does. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And so Orpah may say, I'm going back to the hometown because this is my best chance because I value this. And yet Ruth might say, if it does, fine. But I'm cool to live this way as well. I don't value that as much as that person does. In fact, think about this. This is something that is actually verbalized in the text. When Naomi says, go back to your hometown and go back to your gods, think about what Ruth says when she says, I'm going with you. She says, I'll go where you go. I'll live where you live. Your people will be my people. Now she's ramping up. I'll go where you go. I'll live where you live. Your people will be my people. But then she puts the cherry on top. Your God will be my God. So she's making a decision to migrate toward her ultimate value. This is what I'm going to tell you. When you're making decisions in relationship, in career, in what you're doing, one of the questions to ask yourself, is this taking me toward God or away from God? Is this, I know they're funny. I know they got a nice car. I know you have a good time together. Okay, the time just flies when you're together. That's all good. I know they're the exact height you were praying for. But what I'm asking you, are you going closer to God or further away from God? So as you're doing, like, what do you value? If I was to ask you, hey, what are your 3 to 5 most important values for you? Can you articulate them? Do you know what they are? If you don't know what you really deep down, but you've not wrestled your values to the ground, you're going to be at some of these crossroads and not know which way to go. I'm kind of like deer in headlight. What do I do? Well, part of the way that it becomes a true north for you is when the Lord has put values deep in your heart, you go, no, this is what's important to me. I'm willing to do this. And for Ruth, she said, essentially what she was saying with her commitment to go with Naomi is, I would rather follow you and God and work in the field the rest of my life and not have what everybody tells me I'm supposed to have. I'm cool with that because I value this more. She made her decision. The last one with future would be hopes. Hopes. What are your hopes? What are your dreams? The place that you sense God leading you. Here's what I'm going to tell you. If you were by nature an ambitious person, if you are by nature a visionary person, if you have a lot of dreams, self-awareness in your prayer life is allowing God to show you maybe an area where your hope could become an idol. Your hope, sometimes people have such big dreams and such big hopes and such big aspirations, and the vision is so clear in their head that they somehow find a way to make every prayer scream that. And it becomes a confirmation bias that you're looking for everywhere. Okay, and every time you see a green light, you're like, the Lord must be speaking to me. He's telling me to go. I'm going to tell you, there are some times that in order to walk in obedience to God, you are going to have to turn down what appears to be the direct path to your dream. There may be something that appears to be the direct path to your dream. Ruth was obedient to God. Ruth was obedient to the right direction without any clarity around how this whole thing was going to work out. Sometimes you have to walk in obedience. You have to pick a direction even when you don't have the solution in advance. When you don't have the solution in advance. Bible says in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him. Move to him, and he will show you which path you're supposed to take.